Good morning.
Morning.
Excuse our slight tardiness. Let's commence our meeting with the pledge to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Riddell.
Here.
Commissioner Moore.
Here.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Here.
We have a quorum. Under resolutions, number 1, investments.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 2, appropriations.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 3, transfers.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 4, advances repayments. There were none. Requisitions.
Okay, we have page 1. Page 2. And page 3.
Yep. Can we go back to page 1? We had, removed 14.6, oh, move to approve, sorry.
Second?
Discussion.
Okay, sorry. I had Casey, in regards to item number 1465, is that what we discussed about at the previous meeting?
Yes.
You wanna give us an update on that?
Certainly. So that's one that you as a commission had requested to get a little more information on, obviously because the large value there. So upon follow-up with the auditor's office, that one it's actually a purchase that had been approved previously in 2024 by the commission. This was simply nothing more than a name change. The vendor had essentially had a DBA change name. So in order to continue to pay that, it has to come before you guys again. So this is not a new purchase. It's a purchase or a contract that was entered last year. But again, just due diligence. We just want to make sure this wasn't a duplication of expenses and do our homework. And so we worked with the auditor's office and they got us that information.
My understanding is this is like the second year of a 6-year contract.
That's my understanding as well, correct, yeah.
Okay.
It's the GIS method.
And, yeah, my understanding is, Commissioner, this is the software that they use to upgrade the GIS system, which is what the real estate world uses. It's the aerial views of all the property and all that kind of stuff. So it's just part of their service delivery mechanism.
Yep. If we could blow up the screen again, Victor. Items number 1468 through 70. I was talking to Casey earlier in regards to these expenses that are coming out of our general fund, since it's in regards to the 6119, and he advised me that that we can still count this, even though we're not counting this as advances. He is tracking the dollar amounts that we are spending, so that when and if, I should say not if, but when this happens and the courts do allow us to develop the 6119, then we would be reimbursed for any and all expenses that our general fund has incurred, so that we at least get reimbursed for that. So I had that discussion with him earlier. I don't know if you want to add anything else to
No,
that.
that's correct. Administrator Umbers and myself, we've been tracking those expenses, keeping track of those that we're spending out of the general fund. So should that, when that time comes, yes, we can make the general fund whole again.
Okay, that's. I just want to make sure that, because my question to you was, should we treat it as an advance, and then once you explained it to me,
Yeah,
I thought fine, as long as you're tracking it.
Yeah, because at this time there's no an advance would typically be giving those funds to another fund. At this time, there's no other fund established or other party to give those funds to, so.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Call the vote?
Wait a minute, Jeff wanted to say something, or no, you okay, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm okay, but I just wanted the match, that might be match money. Eventually, we're gonna get local
Correct.
match, so eventually we'll be able to right the ship someplace, so the definition could change, but it will be right the
Tracking
ship.
it, that's the main point,
correct.
okay.
Is there anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Number 6, travel.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Discussion.
Just a note that, as you'll see, that the travel is usually for professional development and continuing education, and our administrative team is doing a good job of seeing to it that our people stay up on the skills that they need in order to serve us well.
Anything further? Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
7 bills.
Page 2. That's the general fund, now it's special revenue, page 3. And page 4. And page 5.
Motion to approve pages 1 through 5?
I'll second.
Discussion.
Could you pull up page 1 for us, Victor? Casey, item number 12 shows the general fund defense of incident case. Is that, when you are tracking that, since we're all diving into this and gonna be having a lot more public discussions in regards to this, it's $1,600, so does that get added into hopefully, we get reimbursed from the state on our 80%?
Yeah, that's correct. And just looking at the account number, it looks like that is for the probate court. That was a indigent case with the probate court. So yeah, that is, that.
I saw it was a general fund account, and I wanna make sure that it doesn't, or that we do get reimbursed, and as part of the.
Correct.
Part of the auditor process,
Right.
and they work with the courts, and then they submit those
Okay.
to the state, and then those come back from the state, correct?
Okay, because you see there's a couple more down there. I just
Yep.
I thought I'd use that since it was, okay, thank you.
Anything else? Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 8, county commissioners may recess an executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, along with any other matters as specifically identified by motion in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G 1 through 8. Unless expressly stated otherwise, during executive session, matters discussed in executive session are designated by the county commissioners as confidential. Because the confidentiality of such matters is necessary for the proper conduct of government business, any disclosure outside of executive session is prohibited by Ohio Revised Code 102.03B. While in executive session, the county commissioners may discuss and deliberate on the matters at issues, but no vote may be taken until the open session resumes.
And we will be having a executive session for confidential legal matters. Which brings us to
Public comment on agenda items.
public comment. Brian? I'm interested to hear on old business.
So, Brian Baker, 49822 Greystone Drive. The old business would be, and I do apologize, I wasn't here on Tuesday, but I know you discussed the CCI contract. I live in Brownhill Township. The concern I would have is what happens when you disband that contract? I live in Brownhill. My fire protection is South Amherst. Am I gonna see any safety concerns with my people? The second question I have is, if they're already on a certain radio system and they have to go to the other, how are they gonna afford to get all these new radios? Because and I did see, Sheriff Jack Hall had a comment on his Facebook, and I'm learning how to do this Facebook, and I see this comment on there. He says that Marks and CCI will work together to put a system together. Who pays for that system? That's my question, is because if it does, that means we're paying more money as taxpayers to do this system when your job is to protect the county. And I know that half the county, or over half the county, probably is not on the Marks radios. So are we gonna see a lapse November 1st? My last piece is, and I don't know if you want me to do it here or not, I live by the Brownham Township Tower, and you know that. 6 weeks now, we have had that up there. We have no beacons on it. We have no white beacon during the day. We have no red beacon at night. And if you get on, I'm just gonna say, if you get on the slip at 90, Route 2, you get on that ramp right there, and you drive on the turnpike, and you drive to Baumhart Road, there's approximately 16 towers out there. Every one of them has a beacon on it. I was told that we're not in the air, you know, because of the airport and everything. Every one of them has a tower. And I can tell you, they're crop dusting out there. We got helicopters in there every day with the line guys. They're trimming out there. I just say it's a safety issue if we don't get that done. And if somebody's gonna tell me it's an electrical issue, it's not. There's power on that property because of the water tower. If you gotta go to rural water to get some electricity, light them up, it's not very hard to do. So I just bring that up as a concern, a safety concern, and both of them are my safety concerns. But I would ask, do you have a legal opinion on the CCI that you guys terminated that contract? Did you get a legal opinion on that?
It wasn't intended for this to be a conversation, but we'll take your
Okay.
issues and relay them, Jeff, to
Okay.
make sure to deal with this beacon issue, if you would. Okay, and as we indicated, again, not wanting to make this a conversation, but the performance of the CCI network is CCI business,
Okay.
okay? And
But I just want to know as a resident, am I going to be safe for the sheriffs and for me if a call goes in, am I going to be safe? And that's what your job is supposed to do as
That question should be
commissioners.
referred to CCI.
No, you guys are who we elect to do this, to
And
make
we
sure
have
that
a
this stuff's
system.
in safe.
Yes, we have a
So
system.
is there gonna be a system in place? Am I gonna be protected in the city that I live, or county that I live in?
Well, first
and
of all, the
and from
contract
South
doesn't
Amherst?
expire till October.
November 1st, I know
No,
November 1st.
October 19th.
Okay,
We intend to be operational with the MARC system. There will be coverage, and and CCI has to fulfill their contract, we will fulfill ours.
okay. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Is there any old business? No? Board business number 9, approve and waive the reading of the county commissioners meeting minutes of August 12th.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Under Community Development, 10, award a contract to Dean and Therese Preslia at 893 Marion Street, Sheffield Lake, to Gen Met Construction, Lorain, in the amount of $80,412.20 to receive grant assistance for Program Year 23 CHIP Home Program, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. Four contractors attended a walkthrough, but only one bid received. The project includes handrails, windows, new hot water tank, exterior spigot, interior drain line, sanitary sewer lateral, bathroom shower, dryer vent, new HVAC, and electrical rewiring. This will be paid from account Program Year 23 CHIP Home.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
We have 16 of these.
Yes, so would this be an appropriate place, Dave, for you to make your commentary on this and the next
Or did- I think-
17 or 18?
I don't know if Marty wanted to say something. He said-
I do want to say something. You know, I had a discussion earlier about this with Mr. Greenspan, and one of the things is I am very, a very strong proponent of some, multiple bid contracts. And I understand in some cases where, you know, this lead-safe abatement, we don't have contractors out there to do it. I'm okay with working that as long as we're moving and we're moving forward and progressing with it. But when I see situations in these CHIP programs, like in particular number 10 here, this is general construction stuff. I would highly suggest that the department that is managing this start finding contractors for this kind of work. This is not rocket science on this one. The other ones, you know, I get it, we're working on it, and I'm okay with it, and I'll make exceptions to it, but when it comes down to this, you guys gotta do a better job.
Now, Mr. Greenspan.
You can hear me? And Commissioner Gallagher and I have spoken most recently, twice yesterday specifically about his concerns, and I respect his concerns and I share his concerns, and we are working towards encouraging more contractors to participate in the process. We did have a contractor outreach a few months ago, and since then, I believe we've had 2 or 3 additional contractors now go through the approval process through the federal government criteria to be eligible to bid on projects. We are working towards, and Commissioner Gallagher's office and I, in my office, we've been given a list of another couple 450 vendors. I believe we are planning to have another contractor outreach in October once the busy season ends, and a second one in January to continue to encourage contractors to participate in bidding on government projects. So we are making efforts towards that, and it is admittedly not fast enough. I would argue that the reason we didn't have a whole lot of participation early on is because we did it at the beginning of the construction season. So we're hoping to have these contractor outreaches at the end and during hopefully a more dormant time, so we can encourage more develop more contractors to participate. So my statement on that, as it relates specifically to this one, knowing this was going to be an issue, I reached out to Kleinfelder, who manages our CHIP program for us, explaining the situation that we would like an explanation as to why, of the 4 that showed up for the walkthrough, why they did not bid. And I did get a response specifically for this, and I'll read that response. One of the trades that showed up for the walkthrough wasn't interested in the plumbing and electrical on this project. A second one believed the project was bigger than they wanted to take on, and we did not hear from the third, but the expectation is the third's responses will be similar to the first 2. So I am following up when we have people go through the walkthrough. As far as the 39 that are invited to participate on this, and that's the list we have right now, 39, it is my intent to send out a survey to all of them to get a better understanding as to why they are on our list but are not engaging. And is it some of the concerns we've heard in the past, or is it something new? So I do plan on reaching out to those folks to understand and get a better feel as to why they are not following through and showing up at the walkthroughs. I'm also going to invite and the commissioners to, and I'll give you a list when we do have walkthroughs, so that we can all start to better understand the process and see some of these projects and why vendors are walking away. I've heard some are walking away because they don't like the project itself. They have an issue with the homeowner. They have an issue with the cleanliness of the property. So I think it would be important for all of us to experience and attend a walkthrough to see what the trades are seeing, the vendors, while they're going out for the walkthrough prior to the bid. I'll keep you informed when the next series of those are. I know that on the lead safe projects, there are 9 more coming. They're in various stages of development with walkthroughs, and as soon as we get that list of the walkthroughs, I'll share it with the commissioners to hopefully participate in the walkthroughs, and we can all see what the trades are seeing and some of their concerns. With that, on this one in particular, this one, as you can see, is a pretty extensive project. The winning bidder, the only bidder on this one, is a female-owned business in Lorain County. The business itself is also the low bidder on 2 other projects you'll be voting on today. So when we look at these projects, we should look more extensively that these are often dealing with, we are dealing with a low to moderate income individual, a homeowner or occupant, depending on the program. This is their oftentimes last resort to get this work done in their homes. This is a dual issue when it comes to maintaining a housing stock, so we don't have housing stock go into decline for these individuals, but it's also an economic development driver, because each of these programs is between $1.5 to $2 million let's say the lead safe is 1.9 million, the CHIP program is 2 to 2.5 million. That is work being done in our county. We're trying to get more local trades to do it, but it is income tax where applicable. It is property tax increase valuations, but this not only is stabilizing a housing stock, these 16 items, but also providing jobs in Lorain County. So it serves a dual role, and I just want to bring that to your attention. And I know Commissioner Gallagher, I forwarded you this morning. I don't expect you had a chance to read it. I gave
Yeah,
it to
I
you
didn't
just
get
before
to.
the meeting. But I'll share with the other commissioners the value proposition for Lorain County and participating and supporting federal and state funding for low to moderate income residents of the county. So those are my statements on this in particular, but more generally on the programs and the other 16 items, 15 items.
I do have support for the programs,
Yeah.
but I don't have the support for how we're managing it. I want to spread the money further by multiple bids, and by spreading the money further, it gives us more opportunity to have more
Yeah.
improvements.
Oh, I completely agree, Commissioner. I welcome the opportunity to have more bidders, and we're going to try to expand the pool. But like I said, we had 39 who were invited. On this case, 4 showed up. We got explanations as to why 2 didn't bid, and we had 1 responsive bidder. So that we'll continue to outreach more to contractors. We cannot require them to submit bids.
Very good. I laud your efforts, but having spent my entire work world in construction, I can tell you there's 2 issues that we don't have control over that highly impact this type of work. And that is, number one, when you do commercial work or you're building a new home, you don't have to work around people. And there's no such thing as off hours in a house. There's a family that lives there, so trying to get that work done is not the kind of work, it's more difficult work, and it's not the kind of work that a lot of contractors like to do when they have other choices. And this is still a contractor's market for work. There's a shortage of skilled trades, and there's a shortage of people. They're taking the work that's easier and maybe more profitable. The second reason is that this particular job, the way that the government structures it, you've got 5 or 6 different trades in here on one $80,000 job. So this isn't one small $80,000 job. It's actually 5 really small, $15,000, $20,000 jobs. In some of these cases, they will, if they have the capacity to do it all in-house, that's great. But as the one bidder told you, then he'd have to get somebody else to do the plumbing, and that increases the coordination and the price, and they walk away. But I don't think there's another way to do the CHIP program. I think the lead safe program for me looks that we get more bidders, Commissioner, because that's kind of a focused kind of work. This is more remodeling and rehabilitation under CHIP, and it's a more complicated type of work, and I think we're going to continue to see less bidders at this level of life.
Anything further?
Nope.
Commissioner Gallagher?
No.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 11, award contract for Lorain Cala at 20909 State Route 511, Wellington, to Advanced Coding and Maintenance Solutions Wadsworth in the amount of $10,114.50 to receive grant assistance from Program Year 23 CHIP, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. Project includes HUD cleaning, new gutter, downspouts or guards, porch work, and interior handrails. There were 39 contractors and only 2 bids received, this being the most responsive complying with specifications, and will be paid from Program Year 23 CHIP account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 12, award a contract with William Farley Bassett, located at 246 8th Street, Elyria, to GenMet Construction Lorain in the amount of $65,247.60 to receive grant assistance from Program 23 Lead Safe Ohio program, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. Project includes window and door replacement, HUD cleaning, new gutter downspouts, asbestos siding removal and replacement, front porch work. There were 39 contractors invited, 3 bids received, this being the most responsive complying with specifications, and will be paid from the Lead Safe Ohio Contracted Services account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
13, award contract with William Farley Eno, located at 715 East Avenue, Elyria, to R. Heyman Construction Grafton in the amount of $54,120 to receive grant assistance from program year 23 LSO program, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. Project includes window replacement, HUD cleaning, new gutters and downspouts, and siding replacement. 39 contractors were invited, 2 bids received, this being the most responsive complying with specifications, and will be paid from the LSO contracted services account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 14, award a contract to James E. Messer, located at 766 Roberts Street, Sheffield Lake, to Solid Ground Construction Westlake, in the amount of $30,134.50 to receive grant assistance from Program Year 23 LSO program, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. Project includes window, door, siding, and garage door replacement, HUD cleaning, and new gutters and downspouts. 39 contractors were invited, 5 bids received, this being the most responsive complying with specifications, and will be paid from the LSO contracted services account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
15, awarding contract to James W. Huff, located at 2806 Park Drive, Lorain, to First Choice Lead Abatement Fairfield in the amount of $23,853.50 to receive grant assistance program year 23 LSO program, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. This project includes window, door, and step replacement, HUD cleaning, new gutters and downspouts, garage door replacement, and foundation and front porch work. 39 contractors were invited, 3 bids received, this being the most responsive complying with specifications, and will be paid from the LSO contracted services account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
16, award a contract to Dora Hildreth located at 1314 Middle Avenue, Elyria, to R. Heyman Construction Grafton in the amount of $53,515 to receive grant assistance from Program Year 23 LSO program, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. This project includes window replacement, HUD cleaning, new gutters, downspouts, and siding replacement. 39 contractors were invited, 3 bids received, this being the most responsive complying with specifications, and will be paid from the LSO contracted service account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
17, award a contract for Judy L. Maynard, located at 322 Teresa Avenue, Lorain, to Rickdale Alliance in the amount of $36,630 to receive grant assistance from Program Year 23 LSO program, which includes contingency for any unforeseen change orders. Project includes vinyl windows, entry doors, garage doors, storm doors, and HUD cleaning. 5 contractors did a walkthrough with 4 bids received, this being the most responsive complying with specifications, and will be paid from the LSO contracted services account.
So moved.
Mm-hmm.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
18, award a contract to City Kuzman located at 2034 East Erie Avenue, Lorain, to Rickdale Alliance in the amount of $39,270 to receive grant assistance from Program Year 23 LSO program, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. This project includes vinyl windows, entry door, interior doors, friction impact doors, storm door, and floor painting and HUD cleaning. 5 contractors did a walkthrough, 3 bids received, this being the most responsive complying with specifications, and will be paid from the LSO contracted service account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
19, award a contract to Brenda L. Centennial, located at One Persons Court, Elyria, to Gemmet Construction in the amount of $76,994.50 to receive grant assistance from Program Year 23 LSO program, which includes contingency for any unforeseen change orders. This project includes new gutters, downspouts, windows, entry doors, interior doors, HUD cleaning, asbestos siding removal, siding, soffits, fascia wrap, trim wrap, interior water supply lines, and exterior water line. 5 contractors did a walkthrough, 3 bids received, this being the most responsive complying with specifications, and will be paid from the LSO contracted services account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher.
Sorry, that was, how many contractors on that one?
This one was
3.
3.
Aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Is that good? Okay. 20, award a contract with William F. Crawley located at 1767 East 36th Street, Lorain, to R. Heyman Construction Grafton in the amount of $46,370.50 to receive grant assistance from Program Year 23 LSO program, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. This project includes vinyl windows, entry door, interior doors, kitchen wall of windows, garage door, storm doors, and HUD cleaning. 5 contractors did a walkthrough and only 1 bid received. This will be paid from the LSO contracted services account.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
No.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
21, award a contract to Christine M. Broski located at 131 Hilltop Circle, Elyria, to R. Heyman Construction Graft in the amount of $42,889 to receive grant assistance from Program Year 23 LSO program, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. This project includes vinyl windows, entry doors, storm doors, garage door, wall and ceiling repairs, interior doors, basement steps, flooring, and HUD cleaning. 5 contractors did a walkthrough, only 1 bid received. This will be paid from the LSO contracted services account.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
No.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
22, award a contract to Melanie Huskey located at 125 Tannery Street, Elyria, to Rick Dale Construction Alliance in the amount of $26,510 to receive grant assistance from Program Year 23 LSO program, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. This project includes vinyl windows, entry doors, rear wall landing, exterior attic opening, wrapping, and repair of overhangs, front porch repairs, interior doors, basement stairway repairs, and HUD cleaning. 5 contractors did a walkthrough, 2 bids were received, this being the most responsive complying with specifications, and will be paid from the LSO contracted services account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
23, award a contract for Jonathan Galvin located at 516 East Avenue, Elyria, to Rick Dale Construction Alliance in the amount of $77,459 to receive grant assistance from Program Year 23 LSO program, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. This project includes vinyl windows, entry doors, interior doors, gutters, side porch ceiling and railing repairs, siding and overhangs, flooring and HUD cleaning. 4 contractors did a walkthrough. This was the only bid received. This will be paid from the LSO contracted services account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, just for the sake of it, these are vinyl windows, entry doors, interior doors, gutters, porch railings. These are not electrical, plumbing, and other, where you'd have, you couldn't have a smaller contractor do it, where they're doing 5 or 6 different. So just looking at this, I'm setting my point clear that when I see this, 39 contractors, we need to start calling more contractors. I gave you guys a list of them, and there was about 900 of them. So somebody's got to call some of those 900 that I gave. So please get on that.
I do commend Commissioner Gallagher for taking on this, and I do commend our department for having public meetings, which is awesome, because you're getting participation, we're educating the public, we're educating contractors that, it's not, it could be difficult dealing with the government, but you guys are making it extremely easy. Even though we only have 1 bid received, and a lot of these are actually having several contractors at the same time walk through. So even though we do only have 1 bid, it looks like we had 4 people that actually looked at it. So, I do commend the education, because that's what it takes, and that has not been done in this county, where we're educating those that work in our county and how to do business in our county. And so I do commend you at least exposing that and getting more and more participation.
I do
So,
see improvement on it,
Yes.
for sure.
Anything further? Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
24, award a contract for Alan and Diana Gregory located at 552 Turner Street, Elyria, to Rick Dale Construction Alliance in the amount of $71,115 to receive grant assistance from Program Year 23 LSO program, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. This project includes vinyl windows, entry doors, interior doors, gutters, rear porch overhang repairs, front porch hand railing, siding and overhangs, storm door, basement stairway repairs, interior painting, basement interior door, basement windows and front steps, and HUD cleaning. 5 contractors did a walkthrough. This was the only bid received. Will be paid from the LSO contracted services account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Almost done.
Last one.
Number 25, award a contract for Carol Ann Cope located at 3840 Tacoma Avenue, Lorain, to Rickdale Construction Alliance in the amount of $36,355 to receive grant assistance from Program Year 23 LSO program, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. This project includes vinyl windows, entry doors, interior doors, fascia covering, front porch stoop and repairs, storm door, second floor wall and ceiling repairs and painting, tuck point chimney, and HUD cleaning. 5 contractors did a walkthrough, 2 bids received, this being the most responsive complying with specifications, and will be paid out of the LSO contracted services account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes. Go ahead. Were you gonna say something? or-
No.
Oh. I had a meeting this morning with our county administrators and deputy director in regards to our community development department. I've advised them that I would like to have them start meeting with your department and start breaking down the benefits that your department provides. Like, for example, today we had 16 different, let's just say, resolutions that benefited our community. And what I'm looking for is, and this is gonna be a debate for the 3 of us, is we keep kind of confusing your department as economic development tools. And there's other expectations that we look for in economic development, which I feel we're not getting. And so I'm gonna begin the process by first starting out with our county administrator to start working with your department, identifying the employees and the type of work and what kind of money are we bringing in from the federal government such as these? How much money are we bringing in from the state? You know, the matching. And I'd like to see the financial arm of that financial benefit our county receives and how we manage the grants and how we manage that. That would be step number 1. Step number 2, do we look at and reinvent maybe a separate department that maybe we could move under the Port Authority or another department and that could focus directly on economic development solely? Because the word economic development, I believe, is too vague. I think maybe we should start breaking that definition down to even more, as into maybe business development, business retention, and such. And so I don't really have a grasp on the 5th floor on what's on that, and that's kind of why I asked them today to start working with your department and bring to the 3 commissioners more details in regards to all the financial benefits that your department does bring to our community. And just to give you a heads up, that should be coming. I don't know how quickly you guys could bring that up. I would hope that could be done in the next 30 days. Is that possible? I'm looking at Dave. I think Dave's the one nodding his, you're both kind of nodding your heads, but,
Yes.
okay. I think that would be something the 3 of us would like to look at as we start to look at more efficiencies down the road. That's all. Thank you.
Anything further? Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye. And before we close and leave community development, a couple of broad comments I'd like to share. I didn't want to do it with each individual bid because then somebody might create a story that doesn't need to be created. But I think the positive trend is we went from not having enough applicants to get to award the money to improve the neighborhoods to now we're getting the applicants. The last improvement that I think we could see is we should be encouraging our vendor, Kleinodder, instead of sending us 15 or 20 at a time, these obviously didn't all get done the same day. If they would bring us those at time, we could monitor the progress, you know, through the course of a season and see if there are issues there that we can address. But giving them to us all at one time makes it a little difficult to digest or adjust the system, you know, as per Commissioner Gallagher. If we need to be making adjustments, it's easier to do it, you know, if we're looking at it through the year. The second thing is, Dave, does Kleinodder do the inspection on these jobs?
Yes, they do.
They do, okay. Because there are a half a dozen jobs in there that went to the same contractor, and I would hope that there's an evaluation that they can actually do all that work by February of '26. That's, a short 5 months away, 6 months away. So, and then number two is that, some of the projects have 25, or in one case, even 50% spread between the low bidder and the next bidder. In my experience, that's a cause. It doesn't mean that anybody's right or anybody's wrong, but you should ask yourself why. It could either be the specifications, or it could be, that the low bidder, the low bidder at that price, you missed something or whatever, and that's why I asked about the inspection.
Sure. And may I address this? So one thing I want to bring to your attention, you're correct. Of the 16 items here, 2 were CHIP and 14 were Lead Safe Ohio. If you remember, the Lead Safe Ohio program, for all intents and purposes, was dead as of February. We had to apply to get an extension to get the 1.6 million reinstated for us to be able to offer to the community. We did that. If we did a press release March 15th, by March 31st, we had over 400 applicants. This is the processing of those. That's why this window appears to be so condensed, because since April 1st till now, these are the projects that Kleinfelder's been able to get through. There are 9 more. When those 9 more are finalized, we've identified all the funding that's available. And it still leaves 370 homes of the ones we've identified unaddressed. So the reason you got so many right now is because the window we reopened and we were able to really fill them quickly. And to your point, Commissioner, we have until February of '26 to have these projects completed. So that's why you're seeing these happen right now in the order and the intensity of applicants and approvals and resolutions occurring. We expect to have the other 9 to you very shortly. They're in various stages. I have a report from Kleinfelder as to when they're moving through their process to get it to us.
Yeah.
And with meeting every other week, by the way, does obviously sometimes condense the opportunity to vote on these resolutions as opposed to a more frequent schedule.
Gotcha. And I appreciate the reminder that this was a grant that had been lost, and that you and your staff, resurrected, and kudos to your influence and so forth. We were able to get it back. So I forgot about that piece, because that did shrink the window that we had to operate in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And one more
Understand.
thing on that.
Go ahead.
There's talk of excess, that there'll be excess funds, because it looks like a few of these are gonna be under budget. Do you go right in order of those that applied? You guys identify if we have excess funds?
Commissioner, I will check with Kleinfelder and see exactly where we are in the excess funds. The issue we're working with now is if there is leftover money, can we get those, depending when the money is known to be available, can we get the project completed by the deadline date?
That's what I was wondering, okay.
Yeah, we're working on that. Look, my intent is to spend every dollar that's afforded to Lorain County. I've asked for more money, and that's not, unfortunately, is not an option for us, for anybody. They've awarded it, and you're
That's
done.
Okay, thank you.
Great work on that.
Okay. Under sanitary, 26, award and enter into contract with Feshco Excavating of Medina in the amount of $729,631 for the Janelle Drive Sanitary Sewer Extension Project in Columbia Township. 2 bids were received, this being the most responsible complying with specifications. Work consists of installing approximately 1,560 linear feet of 8-inch sewer, 1,200 feet of forced main, a sanitary pump station, sanitary sewer laterals. Notice to proceed will be issued upon full execution of the contract, and work to be completed on or before June 15th to 26. Funds for this work will be provided by Sanitary Engineer Project Account. Northeast Ohio Sewer District will reimburse the Sanitary Engineer's Office for 50% of the project cost up to $366,850 upon completion of the project. Authorize administrator to notify auditor to release retainage at completion of the project.
So moved?
Second.
Discussion.
Could we post that? Do you have a copy of that?
Sure do.
I don't know,
The
Bob,
spreadsheet?
does Bob want to say anything, or?
Any commentary, Bob?
No, as you see, the regional sewer district makes some money available for areas in that part of Columbia Township that are on septic systems. With the sewers we've been building over the last few years, there's a lot of side streets with numerous homes that have failing septic tanks. So this gives us an opportunity to let the residents benefit from the work we're doing with the developments.
Very good.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Stormwater, 27, award contract to Marks Construction Valley City in the amount of $244,388.10 for the Law Road ditch restoration. 9 bidders picked up packages, 2 bids received, this being the most responsive complying with specifications. Total amount includes a contingency for any unforeseen site conditions if necessary and approved by the construction administrator and stormwater district, which will be paid from the stormwater account.
So moved.
Second.
Could we also
Discussion?
post that one,
Yep.
Teresa?
I don't know if Don would like to comment, or? Okay.
I got good news.
I think the bid sheet will show some interesting information, in response to our request for multiple bidders. There's a few dynamics beyond our control, and one of them is, when people don't follow the bid specs.
Oh,
Yeah, so what you are looking at is Schaefer Excavating, though. The good news is it's the first time they ever bid a county project. They called the day before and were actually interested in how to do a bid bond. They got that part right. But our contractor, our apparent low bid, Marks Construction, spent some time with them, waiting for the bid opening to start, and talked to them about the bidding process, and gave them some of his insights, as well as after the bid opening, and it was over. Jessica Burns and myself sat with the contractor's representative for 10 minutes, just giving them some insight on how to prepare this, what to expect, and to make sure she takes that back to her team, so the next time they bid, it'll be a more complete package. And so hopefully we've recruited another bidder into the public works sphere.
Good, is that Schaefer Excavating out of Avon?
I believe so.
Okay.
anything further? Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Under the airport, 28, award a contract for 5K Commercial Roofing LLC LaGrange in the amount of $962,960 for Lorain County Regional Airport main hangar roof replacement project. 2 bids were received, this being the most responsive complying with specifications, and the total is the base bid plus alternate 1. Issue notice to proceed effective on or before September 1st of 25, and to complete on or before 300 calendar days from the notice to proceed. Authorize administrator to notify the auditor to release retainage at completion of the contract, and this will be paid from the capital improvements account.
So
Second.
Discussion.
Sorry, Casey. This is coming out of this is basically coming out of our general fund through our capital improvement account, or is this coming?
Well, no, the airport does have funds.
They do have the funds
We can use, we'll have to determine, we got some work to do there to see if the airport has enough of those funds.
Okay.
Rarely available right now, but
Okay,
those are,
but if we do advance any general, we can get it reimbursed through the FF, or the, or no?
sir, that is
No
not an
grant funds.
eligible expense.
It's not an eligible expense?
No. So we'll have to talk next year, as we're budgeting for next year, as far as what funds the general fund will allow the airport to use for local match for any of our future grants. But, in a positive note, by fixing the roof on the main hangar of the FBO, we are able to increase our revenue because we'll be able to house more planes. Or actually, we're going to be able to house the smaller planes in the right hangars and the larger plane in the big hangar. So the holes in the roof have been a deterrent for some folks to use our main hangar space. So in addition to the new roof, we'll also be replacing the rooftop units on the FBO as well. This is a project that's been in the queue for a very, very, very long time.
I know, and it's been needed. I'm just trying to figure out if, based on current discussions, I'm just trying to figure out how to word this properly. With the potential of revenue that could be coming in through maybe economic development plans that are still in process, would we be able to reimburse that account? I mean, that's all I just want, well, I tell you what, Casey, just put this on your roadmap that may be a possible reimbursable account.
Okay,
If you could do that for me, just kind of flag it for maybe next year.
certainly.
Okay. I'll just be safe and say that.
Wow, there's a big difference in price on it.
Did you have that one up too? Do I have that one up? No. Big difference. Anything further?
Yeah, by the way, this is not unusual. There's quite a spread on the base bid, but then conversely, the alternates, there is a sizable spread the other way. And that's not uncommon in the philosophy of bidding from company to company, not knowing if we're gonna take the alternates or not. They would bid low on the base bid and high on the alternates in an effort to gain a job. So that's not unusual, but the total price for both of them, if you take out that there's another alternate option that they did, sometimes that's often offered to try and entice, their selection as a contractor, but it's the sign of the times.
Anything further? Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Under Developmental Disabilities, 29, amend the lease agreement with Via Quest, Inc., Dublin, Ohio, for space share with Lorain County Developmental Disabilities, effective retroactive to August 1st of 25 through June 30th of 26. This amendment is to increase the lease space to 13,740 square feet, which includes areas C, D, E, G, and H, with adjoining restrooms and hallways. Via Quest, Inc. will pay $6,011.25 per month and includes a 90-day cancellation clause.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Okay, County Administrator.
In light of the fact of the length of this meeting and the length of the next meeting in the executive session, I have no comment. We have no comment from the administration at this point.
No report.
No report.
What a sacrifice.
I have nothing. Board correspondence.
Move to waive the reading of the board correspondence.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Is there new business?
New business, couple of items, relatively new. We've had some great response in the last 2 weeks for board positions, and we have appointed 2 members to Children's Services. Making the heads-up announcement also for those that are watching that there are 4 more positions that expire at the end of the year, and there's likely to be, an opening or 2 there. Some people ask to stay on, some people don't, but we consider those all together. And then the Mars Board, there is still 1 more appointment to fill an unexpired term, and that applicant must fit within the category of consumer, either personally or family, of mental health, addiction, gambling services. So we'd like to fill that seat. We had someone that needed to resign. On a darker note, want to recognize Michael DiCarlo, passed away here about a week ago.
You can give that to Teresa.
And Michael was a frequent visitor here. Wasn't always wasn't always 100% germane to county business, but his commentary was always interesting, and he thought quite a bit of the commissioners because he asked us to get involved in just about everything. So,
Yep,
but we mourn his passing. His perspective will be greatly missed.
Yeah, so that's why we thought we'd share with him, because I remember 25 years ago, we had a guy, remember Bob would come up
Bob
here.
Kish.
Bob Kish would come up and was at every one of our meetings. And he always he would be entertaining sometimes, and he would be very aggressive sometimes, but it was always good to have that kind of comment. And I think Mike kind of followed in that line. He sometimes was clear, sometimes he wasn't. Sometimes it had nothing to do with us, but a lot to do with Vermillion. So we knew he was fighting cancer for probably the last 3 years, and it looks like that disease won. So, but he will be missed. He was a good guy. So, thank you for bringing that up. You can take it down.
At 1 o'clock this afternoon, there will be a ribbon cutting at the Lorain County Fairgrounds. The Maureen M. Cromling Memorial Horse Arena ribbon cutting will be today, and quite an achievement for the southern part of Lorain County. Encourage all those that have some availability at the last to go out and see the new building. And then look for this in your mailbox. Our newsletter went in the mail on Wednesday. We've already had reports that it has arrived, so please read about all the things that are going on with your public servants at work.
I have something. Yesterday, we had the Children's Services Building where we had roughly 60 volunteers. And the purpose of this as new business is that we will be doing probably 2 events like this every year from Lorain County Beautiful. But I'd also like to thank all those volunteers that participated. It was a very successful event. It's taken a building that will have, instead of the institutional building here of having families come and visit their loved ones, that they would have it in an openly friendly, kind of like a housing type situation where it's comfortable for the kids to come visit their parents. So it was a great opportunity, and thank you again for all the volunteers.
Yeah. And a commentary, we think we work pretty hard, but Commissioner Gallagher set the pace yesterday. As president of the board, he was out there all day in the sun with his tender Irish skin, and he's a little pink today. Well, you should have seen him last night. So, thank you for your leadership, Tile.
Public comment.
Public comment, Brian. I see you moved up. So does that mean you want the second shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second shot.
No, first of all, Brian Baker, 49822 Greystone Drive. And I do thank you for bringing up Mike. I mean, we came here, I've been here with him, and Mike was a different character, I would say. But I will say, one project that Mike worked on very hard that they're continuing to do right now is all the water lines in VOL. Mike came here and talked about a fire hydrant at about at least 50 meetings because there was no water pressure in there. And I think due diligence on his part helped get that done. So I do say, when it popped up on the screen and it showed him passed away because he was the chaplain at, I think, the MVets 30 in Lorain. It was kind of it was a sad day, and I just had asked Jose about 2 weeks ago, hey, has anybody seen Mike? And, I didn't really realize he was that sick, and some days he'd come in and he would be. So one last thing is, and I know Dave or Commissioner Moore, I will say, but you brought up about the Public Defender's Office, and I know that's going to be a long discussion. Is there a way that we can get a discussion here or something that talks about how much outside legal counsel we spend on and what that amount is? Because sometimes it's substantial. I do watch the expenditures, and you can watch it up there. I know who they are. I think that would be something that we should make sure that the public understands, that we're using outside legal counsel, and they charge a little bit more than what our prosecutor's office would, and maybe bringing some of that in-house would be a good thing. So with that, thank you very much for your time, and I do say it's a sad day that we're losing Mike, because Mike was an advocate. like I think Dave said, he used to come up and talk about these waves and all that kind of stuff that was crazy. But his intentions were for Lorain County. So thank you guys
Brian.
again.
Thanks,
Have a
Brian.
good week and have a good week at the fair next week. So.
Yep. Yeah, the thing, I remember back when Bob Kish passed away, remember? He sent a letter to the county to read, and he passed away. So I actually got up. Were you here when I got up and I went behind the counter and I read Bob's last, let's just say, what would you say, speech, I guess? Yeah, it wasn't too kind, but it was good. And, but Bob was a good guy, and Mike's kind of in the same category, which is interesting. But yeah, those legal fees that Brian mentioned about have really been reduced since one of the commissioners are no longer here. So I think you're not going to see too many more of those issues. In regards to our Tuesday meeting, it's, unfortunately there's a reason why, and I'm a huge newspaper fan. I do like the papers here, especially our county. But I considered what happened on Wednesday morning a complete hit piece on the three of us. This is not prepared. This is just me sitting up here after Brian brought it up in his public comments. And because of the misinformation that continues to be spread around, I will be producing something probably in the next 30 days that will identify and hopefully clearly state the abuses that people like myself for 4 years, that Jeff has taken for 2 years, and Marty has been lucky not to engage in. Fortunately for us, we had about 15 people attend. These are city employees that were in attendance that represented fire and police. And if you notice, if everyone wondered why they did not speak, I was informed that the vendor that has been suing us for the last 2.5 years told them to stand down, which is good because our prosecutor and our sheriff is talking to them and the vendor, and we will be working on a very civil separation from our tower on Burns Road. As you can tell, I'm being careful in how I word what I say. But the fact of the matter is, the hit piece, and the reason why I call it a hit piece, is because when you take facts, that the contract that Jeff Riddell and I rescinded has nothing to do with what we did. We rescinded buying 1,049 radios at $5,800 a piece. And then some consoles. That was $7.7 million. The way it was reported, they made it look like that we turned that down and went with a $14 million system. Again, that is false. What we did is we rescinded the resolution, went out to bid because the responsibility of this board is infrastructure, not buying anybody's favorite radios for municipalities or townships. That's not our responsibility. Our responsibility is similar to the engineer's office, which is developing your roads. I'm not telling you what kind of car to buy. That administration was voted out of office in DC, just a side note. But we're not telling you what kind of car to buy. We're not telling you what kind of radio to buy. But what was important to me for 4 years, and I have been consistent for 4 years, is I want an interoperable infrastructure so that you can be inside these antiquated buildings that don't have internet, or that may, when power shuts off, have no internet. I wanted a system that would protect our first responders with any radio that they choose. Fire likes Harris. Police like Kenwood, Johnson, Motorola, EMS. Everyone has their favorite radio. But at the end of the day, what matters the most is when you push that button, you can communicate. And the system that cost $28 million is what we went with, and it went out to bid, and L3 Harris did not bid. I wanted to go with Vasu, who is a local company who teamed up with Johnson. They were only $500,000 more. But what happened was the state of Ohio stepped up and said, if you use the state of Ohio's Marks program, we'll pitch in another $15 million. We use ARPA funds of $13 million from the federal government to build a world-class infrastructure so that each and every community in our county can pick and choose whatever radio and whatever vendor they want. That is not how it's being reported. I have been dealing with this for 4 years with misinformation. And the more and more that we see and hear, then the truth continues to come out. It's looking like this board was right. We built an infrastructure that is going to be world-class. And guess what? 78 other counties out of the 88 have this system. Now, you want to buy any radio you want, that's fine. They will be able to use our system so that they will be protected. It is our job to provide the infrastructure, and we did that. We took a lot of heat, we knew we were right, and we have now proven that we were right. Now, there was promises I looked, the more history that we dig in, the more these lawsuits come out, the more we read, the more we see the political incest that was going on, the more you find out this got muddied right up and became a political hot button. But I'd like to thank the fact that 136 more people voted for Jeff Riddell. We saved over $22 million of your tax dollars. And it doesn't stop there. We're going to continue to provide these type of services as we look, as you heard earlier, as I talked to Mr. Greenspan and Armbruster, we're looking at every aspect to save every penny that we can, because more and more we are being taxed heavier, and more we're trying to make sure that when we spend your money, we're getting reimbursed, we're getting it from the feds, we're getting it from the state. Because as our job is, we are the budget authority and we're responsible for the infrastructure of this county. And I am very proud of our team, who has taken also a lot of unnecessary hits and misinformation because they politicized it. It didn't work. They complicated the issue. The bottom line is, I am looking forward to having this whole county safe. Any inferences of the other is just propaganda. I'm also happy that the vendor who we were winning in state court saw that we were winning in state court, dismissed their lawsuit, and filed RICO in federal court, and has done nothing for 2.5 years. No discovery, no depositions, nothing. They were hoping I'd lose. But guess what happened? We had our right to say, as we move forward, to bring a world-class system to Lorain County. We had the right, but we thought we could have waited. We didn't. We wanted to give CCI enough time to say, we are moving forward. We want you to have enough time to move on. And they panicked, and they knew this was coming. They didn't really panic. They called up the prosecutor and the sheriff. They all worked it out. They approached us, and with Lee's help, it's going to get resolved. We're going to be amicable. I mean, I'm telling you right now, this is not as rough as everybody thinks. Yeah, thank you. As it seems, it isn't. We're all, even with the abuse that we take, we don't care. What's best for the community is what we're going to do. And if you want to use a private system, that's fine. There's more changes coming next year. But the bottom line is we did the right thing, and the bottom line is it's going to be beneficial for the whole county. And eventually, what you're seeing in Cuyahoga County with Bay Village, they're combining their 911. They're moving into everyone's starting to go to regionalism when it comes to your 911 services. The good people of Lorain County support 911 with 2 levies. And pretty soon you're going to see that happening here in Lorain County. So I'm very proud of our team. I'm not very happy with how we're being reported, misinformation, making it look like we turned down 7 and went with 14, when the real number was 28. And this board got $15 million from the state and $13 million from the feds. We're not using your general fund, folks, general fund money for that. That's the kind of work this board does. And with the heat that we take, we continue to fight and move forward for you, the taxpayer, because you're working and you have a life. And I know based on the 76 people that usually watch us, you know what? They trust us to do what's right. So that was my public comment. Thank you.
I want to say one thing, just so you know, the rescinding of that contract was a single bid contract.
Marty, you're good for
Marty,
you're good for
see,
that.
we were following your plan before you even got here.
Yeah, we saw.
The other thing is that the question comes down, and Mr. Baker's comments, kind of danced around that issue. But for those of us that we need some help up here, and that is, we don't understand why anyone would want to have a private sole user system instead of belonging to a multi-agency, the Coast Guard, Secret Service, the National Guard, ODNR, even Ohio Edison, even our park rangers, even Columbia Gas, state troopers. Not only that, but a dimension we're not looking at as we become more regional in our vision and we collaborate with others. But this system will allow those, if we had a problem here and other counties rallied to help us with their safety forces and their service forces, they're automatically, if they're marked, they're on the same radios we're on. So making it easier for those people to collaborate is unbelievable, and that's why people like Ohio Edison and Columbia Gas have already embraced this, because if you ever watch the trucks go up and down the highway, in the case of major storms, they work all over the state, and this system allows them to be on the same radio channel wherever else they go in the state of Ohio. It's a huge asset to not only the safety of the public, but the safety of the first responders. And we don't understand why they don't want to be collaborative. So if anybody out there knows the answer to that, we'd like to share it, because we've been chasing that dog and unable to get to it.
Well, they will be. It's gonna be basically, again, going back before he even took office, you know, the original quote that we turned down was service fees on those radios were like $38 a piece. Mark's was $5 a piece. And so at least we helped all these communities that bought those. They had at least brought them down to $10 a piece. So the deal becomes, I think the deal ends up being the revenue source from on a monthly basis from each and every radio. So they can still have their favorite radio, but what's gonna happen is the communities are gonna have to pay for a SIM card, and they're gonna have to pay the $5 fee to use that system. So it'll be up to them, but that's how it should be. You know, we built it, and if they wanna participate, great. If they don't wanna participate, that's fine. But that's gonna be up to each and every local community to make that decision, not us. We built it, we put the road in, you know, you can drive on it if you want. That's how I look at it. I make a motion to go into executive session for what was stated in the clerk.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddle.
Aye.
And
Commissioners have reconvened from executive session.
And we are now adjourned. Thank you,
Have a great day.
and have a pleasant tomorrow. You know, I